What's up, Spartans? Batman from TST Gaming here, keeping you updated with everything Halo. And today, we are going over our review of the Halo television series, Episode 7, Inheritance. But before we get started, please subscribe for more Halo content.
TST Gaming, your destination for all things Halo.
Spoiler warning for those who have not seen the episode yet. So episode 7 was kind of a weird one-off episode that really didn't feature the Chief. Any other storylines that we've been seeing being developed over the course of the season thus far, with the exception of Quan Ha and Soren's story, specifically Quan Ha's though. That to me was a little weird, that they didn't just kind of break that up over the course of multiple episodes. I thought it was an interesting move for them to choose an episode that was dedicated primarily to Quan Ha and pretty much nobody else outside of Soren. So some things I liked was the fact that we got to finally see how the Ha family ties into the larger narrative and plan of the season, which is to basically protect the portal, which is assuming it leads to Halo somehow. My guess is this could be very similar to Halo 3 in a certain way, with the portal to the Ark. That's the only way I can think of it, because you'd have to be able to get a ship through. You're not going to get a ship through a well. Although I thought the story was really interesting, and the way that they shot the vision that she had was really cool. First off, we got to still see Master Chief without seeing our Master Chief. It's just a vision of him. And her seeing all the descendants of the Ha family that were basically the chosen defenders of Madrigal. So I thought that was really cool. I like seeing Soren kind of go back and be a little bit more of that pirate that he is back on the Rebel. I did think it was weird that we see him last episode get zapped by Quan Ha, and then this episode we see him just jump straight into he's already at the Rebel, and now he has to go back. It just kind of felt like unnecessary sidetrack in order to keep him there. When he had already promised John, he could have just said, I'm keeping my promise. So it just felt like a little bit more filler stuff on that, so that would probably be a negative for me, but I did like that it took away a little bit more from the Quan Ha storyline directly. But the fact that we have so many storylines going on right now, specifically from the previous episode, on episode 6, that it's weird that they just kind of full stop, we're going to do the Quan Ha thing and really drag it out. And I don't want to say that they drug it out too much. I actually really enjoyed this episode more than I thought I would. I know that a lot of people aren't fans of Quan Ha. I think that they picked her role, and they had written her role for a very specific reason, and we finally found out what that reason is, that she is basically going to be that connection for Chief to get to the portal in order to essentially find Halo, would be my guess. I did like the final battle for Madrigal. Now again, I did think it was a little odd that they went from hitting a home run with last episode, really building up on what they'd been setting up this entire season, and then doing this Madrigal episode, and I kind of feel like they could have done this episode for episode 6 and then done the big episode we had last week for episode 7. But I'm not in charge of these things. It's above my pay grade. But overall, I thought this episode was better than it had any right to be, with focusing on just one singular storyline, really. I did think the fights with Soren and the mercenaries were the best that we've had that were non-human Covenant. He definitely proved to be very capable, and I liked the team up that him and Quan Ha had when they finally made a plan, and that she finally kind of grew into her own and was like, no, I can do this. I liked their relationship, and that he kind of got paid in the end and kind of leaves after he made sure that she was safe. So now it'll be very interesting to see what the next 2 episodes have in store for us, as there's only 2 left of the season. My guess is they're going to find Halo at the end. I actually thought Madrigal was going to be the finale that basically kind of leads us out of the season and into the next season with the first Halo ring, which is what I'm predicting they're going to do. In the books, it was the fall of Reach that led them to Halo. So will we see the fall of Reach in this series, or are they going to kind of make it Madrigal that kind of takes that place, and they're going to use Reach as the current base of humanity until they decide to use Earth? Overall, I'd give this episode a 7, which I think is pretty generous, considering, again, that it's moved away from a lot of the other more interesting storylines. But the storyline that they came up with her going into the storm and finding the mystics to tell her what they had told her family, I thought was really cool. And the vision was really cool because she had to keep fighting Master Chief in different ways. And seeing the cameo from the guy from the second one who first mentioned the Halo was really cool. He plays a good crazy person. But let us know down in the comments below what you thought of this week's episode and what you hope to see in the last 2 episodes. And with that, that's all we have for today. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching TST Gaming, and until next time, just play.